Hi guys, how's it going? My name is Evan, coach of the Santa Cruz Sand Shrews, and welcome to our top 4 match of the Little Root Lessons Draft League. This match is very highly anticipated because the winner will proceed to the finals next week, the grand finals of our Season 3 Draft League. And I am going up against none other than my good friend Ro from our Discord server. Um, Ro has been texting me all week. He is very excited for this match and he says he can't wait to show me all that he's learned up until this point. Sure enough, he has went through a lot in this draft league um, and really uh, worked very well with his team, worked very hard and tested the team a lot, and even like team builds with a lot of his friends on our server. So he is definitely an opponent that cannot be underestimated. And I want to give an early shout out to Ro. He has a Twitter account at RoVGC on Twitter. Do look out for him because he's been constantly tweeting his draft league progress, and I find that very impressive because we will always get to see weekly updates from him, and I haven't even gotten around to do it on my own Twitter account. So I'm definitely a little bit jealous over there. So without a further ado, let's go through our team's usage stats. At a glance, we can see that Ro has more numbers, so he brought his team into 7 weeks worth of matches in a total of 15 games. So he's played quite a lot. He should be very well versed with his team, and he knows the ins and outs of how his team works. And also, he went through a lot just to get to this point, to the top 4. As for me, I played way fewer games. I only played 5 matches and I played 11 games total. So seems like I have less experience with my team, and I didn't go through as much as he did because I managed to skip a few matches during my run. So let's go through my mons. You can see that Solgaleo has the highest number of 9 games being brought, and that's no surprise because Solgaleo's typing is okay, very a good typing with good ability. You cannot lower Solgaleo's stats, and but then it doesn't show that I rely a lot on Solgaleo as my main offensive attacker and my main restricted mon. So it does show that my other offensive attackers have the ability to Dynamax as well, and I can be flexible in that aspect. So I have Cinderace, Regigigas and Latios as possible Dynamax candidates, and the numbers do show that I do bring them in sort of equal number of weeks. It's a pity I didn't bring Regigigas as much. It doesn't seem to perform very well in a close format like Draft League because the opponent usually has answers for it, and it's quite difficult to ensure that my Weezing is always safe beside the Regigigas to enable and sort of as in disable the slow start. So that's why Regigigas only has 2 games brought. It's quite sad. Then in terms of my support mons, it shows that I favor Weezing a lot. I think I really value the ability to shut down all other abilities, and also possibly to have Misty Terrain to ensure I don't get status. And other support mons that I bring are Butterfree, Umbreon and Hitmonlee. Umbreon and Hitmonlee have equal number of games brought and matches brought. That's okay. I think Umbreon has very good bulk and Hitmonlee has very good fake out support and other moves as well. So seeing them as sort of equals, I think that makes sense. Then as for Gorgeist and Luxray, it's quite strange. I've been wondering why I didn't bring them to my matches that often. But I guess that's because of the matchup sometimes, and sometimes Luxray might not be fast enough or Gorgeist might not be bulky enough. So those are some interesting points to note from my end. Let's move on to Ro's end. He has way more numbers and his numbers are very spread out as well. From the whole roster of Mons, we can see that Ro made a few trades along the way. So that's very good, like identifying the weak points of your team and trying to improve your team. as the weeks go on, and I think he's certainly shown a lot of good results, especially when he managed to acquire the Blastoise and the Mimikyu, the two big numbers you can see at the bottom. I think quite in the middle of the draft league, and you can see that he values Blastoise and Mimikyu a lot and brought them into quite a lot of his matches, like almost half of his matches. Then in terms of offensive attackers, we have Dialga, Blastoise and maybe Regice, and we see that Dialga is the one that's brought the most. That's no surprise because of Dialga's very deep move pool, very good stats, very good bulk, and quite impressive offense coming out from Dialga. In terms of support mons, we can see Indeedee being the most used, and that's no surprise as well, because Indeedee has very reliable redirection. And the other mons, maybe shoutouts to Scrafty, and sometimes Blastoise could be a support mon, and Mimikyu. Mimikyu being brought into 8 games shows that Ro values Mimikyu quite a lot, and that's a good thing too, because Mimikyu has a good ability and a good move pool, especially to support the team. Then we see that the Drifblim was only brought into 1 game, although it's brought into 3 weeks. So that's quite interesting there, because I think Mimikyu and Drifblim have very similar support options, but in opposite ways. Like Drifblim, you will want your team to go fast with Tailwind, and then as for Mimikyu, you will want your team to go slow with Trick Room. So that's some interesting dynamic there. So that's all for the usage stats. Let's move on to the matchup breakdown. Here are the mons that I felt like I must bring, and the mons that I expect to see on Ro's side. From my side, the Solgaleo, it has to be there. I think it's the most bulky member of my team, and it can hit very hard, hit a lot of Ro's side very hard, and it's sort of the main check to Dialga, because otherwise it's very difficult to match Dialga's Dynamax and try and reduce Dialga's damage output at the same time. Then Cinderace is my secret answer to Dialga in the end game. I think with high jump kick, I should be able to do very good damage to Dialga, even though it gets its max Steel Spike boost up. So the goal is, for me, will be to take out all of Dialga's partners and then try and deal with Dialga in the end game. And Weezing is sort of essential for me because he has a Colossal, and without Weezing, I cannot manage Colossal speed. There's no way I can outspeed Colossal, so I might have to go Trick Room. But having both my Trick Room setters in Solgaleo and Gourgeist being weak to Colossal, it's very tricky to get into that position. Then Umbreon is a very good mon for Ro's team in testing, because it's very difficult for Ro to hit Umbreon for super effective without proper setup. So I think Umbreon should be able to wall the team pretty well and give very good support in terms of Yawn and Snarl. The mons that I'm considering will be Gourgeist, because a lot of his mons are very flexible. You don't know whether they want to be offensive or defensive, and having the Frisk ability would help me find out like some clues in terms of their items. So I think Gourgeist is, for me, I really wanted to bring Gourgeist and I tried to make it work. Then for Hitmonlee, having Fake Out Pressure and a good fighting attack towards Dialga is useful. However, he has that Indeedee, so it's something that I really have to look out for. So Hitmonlee is really like, I considered it for a while, but in the end I did not bring Hitmonlee. And Luxray is coming this week. That's good. And I think Luxray could help a lot because a lot of there are 2 of his mons weak to Electric, and Luxray has good support options to help slow down the team, especially trying to slow down all the special attackers that Ro has in terms of Snarl. And then if Ro chooses to go physical, he does not have Defiant and he does not have Clear Body, so the Intimidate on the Luxray can help a bit. The mons that are tough to bring are Latios, because of Dialga, and Latios is offensive, sure, but it might not be fast enough against his team, and it also might not be bulky enough. Then Butterfree, because the opponent has Fake Out, and Butterfree is very frail and not fast enough as well. Then Regigigas is difficult to bring, especially because of the Dialga, because Regigigas cannot do good damage into an offensive Steel type that can always boost itself and do very good damage with Max Steelspike. So that's one of the Regigigas' biggest enemies, and that's why Regigigas is benched this week. That's kind of sad. So from Ro's team, we definitely expect to see the Dialga, which is his mascot, and supported by the Indeedee. Then I expect to see the Blastoise as well, because Blastoise has a lot of good options. It can either be offensive or defensive with Fake Out and maybe Aqua Jet and even Life Dew and Yawn. Then the thing about Blastoise is that if it goes offensive, it can do good damage with Gmax Cannonade and have good residual damage. So notably, his Gmax option is actually Blastoise instead of Colossal. Then Blastoise, when it's offensive, you won't know whether it's physical or special because their stats are very similar, and both physical and special coverage moves can do very good damage to my team. So that's something that I really have to look out for. Then the next one will be Drifblim. I think we definitely will see the Drifblim, because Drifblim really supports his team very well against my team in terms of Tailwind, even Strength Set and Will-O-Wisp. Then one very good move Drifblim has is also Haze, which can eliminate any possible weakness policies that I want to proc for my team. The mons that I feel are likely will be Colossal, because Colossal actually does very good damage to my offensive attackers in Solgaleo and Cinderace. So I really do need to keep that Colossal in check and make sure it does not get that Steam Engine boost off. If not, it will go way too fast, and with its Dynamax, it's very bulky and it can easily sweep my team. Then Scrafty is possible. He might bring Scrafty for Intimidate for my Cinderace, and also to try and slow my team down with Snarl, and possibly like Brick Break. Yeah. Then I also expect to see Mimikyu maybe, because Mimikyu's ability allows it to take more than one hit, and he can support the team well with Trick Room and Will-O-Wisp. Then Mimikyu can also be the mon that does very good damage to Umbreon, and there's also a chance he might Dynamax Mimikyu in front of Solgaleo. If he has maybe like the Babiri Berry, then he can take one hit and fire back with a strong Max Phantasm. Then the mons that I feel are unlikely to see will be the Miltank. I have very strong fighting type moves, so I don't expect to see Miltank, although Miltank is very fast. Then I don't expect to see Regice also, because Regice is frail against offensive steel types, especially my Solgaleo. And I also have a Cinderace. Then as for Tangrowth, I also don't really expect to see it, because a lot of my mons can hit it for super effective in fire, poison, yeah. So although Tangrowth has the threat of sleep and good redirection, I'm not very worried about it this week. Let's move on to the next slide. The general predictions. Here are the sets that I'm expecting. Very importantly, going into the match, I really need to find out where the weakness policy is so that I don't accidentally proc it, and I play around it and manage my resources well. So Dialga is one candidate with the weakness policy, and definitely Colossal as well. So Dialga is something that I expect him to Dynamax, because he only has two weaknesses and it can always boost itself up with Max Steelspike and Max Quick, and doing very good damage in the process. Then Indeedee also for very good support, and having to keep Dialga very healthy is always very beneficial for Roll. I expect the Focus Sash or maybe the Psychic Seed. Both items should allow Indeedee to take more than one hit and maybe stay on the field for 2 turns. Then I also expect to see Blastoise. Blastoise will be a wild card. I don't know whether it's White Herb, maybe even Citrus Berry for good support. And if it chooses Dynamax, the Gmax candidate has very reliable residual damage. And Drifblim, if Drifblim has the Psychic Seed, it will proc Unburden and it will always be the fastest on the field, being able to control my mons very well with Haze or Will-O-Wisp. Then it's a very good check to Solgaleo, because this week my Solgaleo is physical. But there is also a possibility that Drifblim might be a weakness policy set. Having Mimikyu to self Shadow Sneak, I think Drifblim can get very offensive, and there's a chance he can one-hit KO my Solgaleo and do very good damage to my Cinderace. And with Max Airstream, I think having to make the team very very fast will make it very difficult for me. So that's one possibility that I foresee. The next one with the possibility of a weakness policy is no surprise, Colossal, and it's very bulky when Dynamax. And furthermore, I don't have a good water or ground type mon on my team. So that might be an oversight when I was drafting, and the challenge comes this week. Then I expect to see Scrafty also, maybe, with Citrus Berry or Assault Vest, and has very good support options. Mimikyu can also be offensive, maybe with Life Orb and Swords Dance, or maybe with a Berry, or even Mental Herb. And maybe Tangrowth, yeah, because if he lives on the Sash, then he can pressure with Sleep Powder and continue to support the Dynamax Mon. So having 2 options for redirection, then he can always get Dialga or maybe Blastoise going. I think that will be very beneficial for him. So that's something that I really have to watch out for. So I made an extra slide, same as last week. Here are the strategies to look out for. Dialga with weakness policy and Indeedee with Brick Break. He has many ways to proc weakness policy on his team, and that shows how flexible the team that he's drafted has become. Indeedee has Brick Break. I think some of you, a lot of us don't know about it, and it's very reliable to proc Dialga's policy. And with Dialga at +2, it can be too offensive and very difficult for my team to take down, especially when it is Dynamaxed. So that's something I have to be very careful of to make sure it does not go off. But it's very difficult to avoid that. Then Blastoise with White Herb with good redirection. Even with both, I think it can always get that Blastoise going and do more damage than I can do back. Then the biggest worry is that Blastoise can be physical or special, and that would definitely catch me off guard, because I won't know whether to Intimidate or to Snarl. Then Colossal with Aqua Jet on Blastoise. Surf is also possible, maybe Scarf Surf, so that will be quite worrying. And Colossal will always be able to do very good damage to my offensive attackers and my possible Dynamax options. Then, as I said earlier, my team does not have a water type Pokemon or a ground type Pokemon with good stat moves against the Colossal. So whatever ground move that I'm doing to the Colossal will not OHKO a Dynamax Colossal, no matter how I invest in my mons. So for that, I have to manage my resources well and make sure the Colossal is always in check. Then the last strategy will be the Drifblim with the Psychic Seed, so it's always faster and always able to support the team well. Then very many useful tools to slow down my team's damage output. So that's all for our predictions. Let's go through the team that I'm bringing for this week. And check summary. Let's go through our Cinderace first. I really don't like to miss my moves, so the item that I chose is the White Lens. Cinderace would come in the late game, sort of like an Urshifu, with very strong moves, High Jump Kick, Iron Head, and Sucker Punch. Through testing, most of the time Indeedee would go down by then, and I should be able to stall out Psychic Terrain, so Sucker Punch should do good damage to a lot of his mons because he does not have a lot of dark resist. So with strong stat moves, I think Cinderace can clean up the end games. I don't foresee to Dynamax Cinderace often. Then the EVs are max attack, just enough speed to outspeed max speed Dialga, and the rest is put into bulk to hopefully survive moves, especially in the end game. So next up we have Weezing with Neutralizing Gas and the Focus Sash. I think Weezing is very important this week. I went max speed and max special attack because I have the Focus Sash, so might as well put all my EVs in special attack. And Strange Team should do neutral damage to all his mons. And the most important move on Weezing will be Haze. So if he boosts like with Shell Smash or with Dialga's Weakness Policy, if he goes out of control, then Weezing should hopefully live on the Sash and go for Haze to neutralize all his threats. And that's all for Weezing. And Taunt is there just in case I want to stop Follow Me, or Rage Powder, or Sleep Powder. Next up we have Solgaleo. I plan to Dynamax Solgaleo the most for this week because it's the mon that really helps me does the most damage. So Weakness Policy to ensure it does more, and I have a way to proc my Weakness Policy. Then Max HP, and not specially into special defense or defense. I think I just put the remaining in defense just in case I go up against specially offensive Colossal or Dialga. Then a lot is put into attack, just in case he burns me while my Weakness Policy is up. He burns me with Will-O-Wisp. And for the moves, Sunsteel Strike can hit Mimikyu through the disguise, so I think that's useful for me. Then Earthquake for max quick, and Close Combat if I need to go for max Knuckle to boost myself. Then in the end game, Close Combat will also do good damage into Dialga, who is weak to fighting. And Protect, quite crucial for me to scout out what he wants to do. So next up we have Gourgeist with a bulky berry, and Gourgeist is max HP and max special defense. So for this I'm putting all my eggs, like I'm predicting that he's bringing specially offensive mons, so Gourgeist should be able to take 2 to 3 hits. Then Gourgeist has Brutal Swing to help proc Solgaleo's Policy, and I brought Imprison, Ally Switch and Trick Room, so I can imprison both Ally Switch and Trick Room, and that can reduce mind games, and at the same time stop his mons from going slow in case he chooses the Trick Room route. If not, then I'm the one that can go for Trick Room and hopefully Imprison to stop him from reversing it. So Gourgeist, mainly I think I'll bring Gourgeist only into my first game, importantly to frisk my opponent's items. So very good for scouting information. Then my Umbreon with the Citrus Berry, so it always takes 3 hits. It's very rare for Umbreon to go down to just 2 hits, especially with the Citrus Berry to recover. And I think Umbreon is very crucial for my team because it can help stall out a lot of his offensive attackers. So with Snarl and Moonlight, I can always recover back and waste his Dynamax turns that way, even from +2 Blastoise. And Helping Hand is useful to make sure Solgaleo does more damage, and Yawn is very crucial for my opponent because there is no way that he can stop sleep on his end, and having to cripple his Dynamax can be very important for me. So mixed, I think it's important for Umbreon to have mixed defenses, so I put a little bit more in special defense, but also a bit in defense, cause there's a possibility that some of his mons can go physical. And also I haven't mentioned this in my matchup breakdown and predictions, but there is this chance that the Dialga will go for 3 max Steelspikes, and then when it goes small and boosted up, then you can spam Body Press. And Body Press is super effective into Umbreon and can possibly one-hit KO Umbreon. So that's something that I really need to watch out for, which is why I invested a little bit in defense. So Luxray, speaking of Body Press Dialga, Luxray is like the secret to try and stop that Dialga with Leer. So Leer lowers the defense stat by 1 point from for both my opponent's mons on the field, and I think that will help enable my Cinderace in the end game. And Luxray is very bulky, so it's a bulky support set, and Shuka Berry will allow it to take the Max Quick, maybe even boosted Max Quick comfortably, because that is Luxray's only weakness. So that's why I gave Luxray the Shuka Berry to try and stay on the field for at least 2 turns to do what it wants. Then Volt Switch is useful just to do damage, Snarl to slow down my opponents, and Protect to try and stay on the field for 1 more turn, and give my Dynamax option, more options to attack. Yeah. And that's all for my team this week. This is gonna be another tough week, but very similar to last week actually, because the opponent is full of bulky mons, so that's something that I really need to play around and manage, and at the same time manage my damage output. So that's all for my team and team breakdown. This took a little bit longer than I expected, so stay tuned for the match coming up next. Okay, see you on the other side, says Ro. Okay, let's go. Important thing to do is to look for items. We just need to know where his weakness policy is. Oh, Tangrowth? Okay, that's strange. Wow, there's Mimikyu. No Drift Beam? Wait a sec, Hakim has something to say about this. And no Indeedee? Okay. Well, there's a possibility the Blastoise will Dynamax. Man, he might have went the spicy route, huh? I think I'll be worried if the Mimikyu goes for Swords Dance. But this is my game 1 plan. Scrafty is interesting. He doesn't have like... I think the Dialga has to be pressure, and he needs to have a policy somewhere. But then again, if the Colossal is on the team, there's a high chance the policy is on Colossal. Wow, he's taking his time. Oh, okay. He's locked in 7 seconds before. That means he's been thinking of what I can lead with. It's very difficult to expect what he brings. The worst case scenario is Blastoise Colossal. Okay, that's his scouting lead. That's good for him. Okay, let's check out Freeze. Mental Hurt, good. Citrus Berry on Scrafty, also good. Okay, nice. So if he brings Scrafty and Mimikyu, that means we know Dialgas in the back. And I would expect either Blastoise or Tangrowth. Looks like he wants to set Trick Room. I'll just try the Imprison. And then I know that Sunsteel Strike kills Mewtwo. Because I don't see a reason to Dynamax now. Okay. Willowiz is okay. Does he go for knockoff onto... Because I don't think he can kill my pumpkin. Wow, look at that color on the Silvally. Okay, he reviews Willowiz, correctly predicting that I'm physical. Scrafty uses Taunt. Okay. If he has Taunt and he's Citrus, that means he really wants Trick Room up. I think we can start stacking our boosts. So I think I'll always go for... Actually, I can go for Quick. Yeah, I think on hindsight I should have went for Quick. But going for Steelspike is okay. Okay. Yeah, if I went for Quick on that slot, then he would have taken too much damage. Yeah, so that was a misplay on my end. Okay, we confirm pressure. So there's a chance the weakness policy is there. Does he go for the self-proc now? Does he break now? Oh, taunting into my Gorgeist is also very interesting. Because my Gorgeist only has Total Swing as an attacking move. That was a very risky switch from him. If I were to go for Quick. So I think now I can start going for Knuckles. He's gonna do 0 damage. Oh wow, that's impressive damage. Okay. Boosting my defense is also good against the Scrafty. Does he go for knockoff? Foul play, okay. Oh man, I didn't make sure I was 0. Wow, that did so little. Okay, I can stall out my... I believe I can stall out the taunt. Because I don't want to... I don't want to... switch my mons in randomly. 2 more turns of taunt, that's risky. Having a Steel Spike, I think I'll go for the Knuckle onto Scrafty and then let's see who's faster. Because I think I can go for a +1 max quick into Dialga next turn. So that's a Cherish Ball, it's definitely Dialga. Who is his last mon? I don't... It might not be Blastoise or Colossal because they usually come as a pair, so it might be Tango. So for that I have to be careful because my Cinderace doesn't have a fire type move. Oh, he plays defensive. That's not good for him. Is he that afraid of my max quick, knowing that my max Steel Spike did so much damage? Okay, I'm not sure if this foul play kills me, so this is a little bit worrying. But I do have a defense boost. Yeah. Okay, he procs the Citrus. The Scrafty is not a problem actually, but I'm doing this so that I don't knuckle into... Yeah, that's not... Okay, that's okay. So, now let's go for the quick. Onto Dialga. Having... He has Mimikyu in the back. Weezing can kill Mimikyu. What if I go for a Knuckle? Okay, let's save in case we lose this match. Let's give a quick boost to Cinderace. So now the question is, does the Dialga have a policy? I believe it should be life orb. He withdraws the Scrafty, that's good. Into Mimikyu, okay. Okay, Mimikyu's disguise is still up, so we need to take care of that. It's not Shuka, okay. Ah, that's good damage. Nice. So does he go for the Protect and Trick Room, right? Maybe. Okay, it's policy, nice. This means Colossal is not policy. This means Colossal might be life orb. Quake is okay. My biggest worry about the Dialga is if he goes for 3 Steelspikes and 3 Steelspikes and then body press. Yeah, so right now we just double into the Mimikyu. And if I turn myself into a Steel type, then Dialga won't be doing much damage to me. Although he has his policy up. So we're just gonna Iron Head and Strange Team into the Mimikyu. Oh, and it's also good to know that my Solgaleo is faster than Dialga. So now it will be a huge risk for him to go for Max Guard and Trick Room, so the Dialga has to attack here. Does he read my Iron Head and go for Max Quick into Cinderace, and that will be bad. But I believe the Strange Team can do good damage to Dialga after this turn, because now it's his last turn of Dynamax. Okay, if Strange Team misses, then this is bad. Maybe I can flinch the Mimikyu, but does he go for the Will-O-Wisp? That would be interesting. Okay, he went for the Trick Room, and I connect Strange Team, that's huge. So now, I think he's gonna go for Fake Out. And I can afford to protect. So, yeah, I think I can afford to double protect, because there's nothing much the Dialga can do. And he revealed Max Quick. He only had one Quick boost, so he wasted his Dynamax just to Max Guard twice. Yeah. So just for the Fake Out, let's double protect. Then Strange Team should do good damage into Dialga, and then this will hide my Focus Sash as well. Let's see who he intends to target, you know, who does he think is a bigger threat. That's the person that he will pick out. Yeah, that's Cinderace, that's okay. Does he go for the easy? Okay, nice. Earth Power. This is just to confirm that the Dialga is physical. Earth Power should do okay damage into Cinderace, especially when it's at +2. But I always double into the Scrafty because Scrafty rarely carries Protect. But this is a big risk. Yeah. But otherwise I can still Brutal Swing him down. His chip very low. Okay, he plays defensive. Is that Tango? It's Blastoise, nice. Does the Scrafty have Protect? Nice. Wow, it doesn't kill. But thank god I made my Weezing super fast. So now, I still keep the information that Weezing is Sash. So now's a good time to protect. I believe if the Dialga switched out, it means it doesn't have Protect. Right, that's kind of strange. I think now, I should double into the Dialga, just in case he goes for Trick Room. Yeah, because after this I still have Sucker Punch, and Weezing should be able to 1v1 into Blastoise. The worst case scenario is if the Blastoise is Shell Smash. Ooh, that's a good protect. Okay. Wow, does he Shell Smash here? Because that will be very bad for me. So maybe I should have doubled into the Blastoise. So having Protect on Dialga means he doesn't have... Wow, he really does. Nice. Okay, that's okay. That means he doesn't have Trick Room. Yeah, but man, if he... If he Water Spouts here, this might be bad. I believe Sucker Punch should kill the Dialga, so now the Blastoise is a problem. That's a very good Shell Smash. I respect that play. But I brought haste for that, so I'm still faster than Blastoise. Okay. Liquidation. Okay, he reveals that it's physical, thanks. Dialga still doesn't protect, so I think doubling into the Blastoise will be good. This should take me down to Sash. Yeah, knowing that I'm faster than Blastoise is really good. So right now, we're just gonna... I think High Jump Kick does the most damage, and double into the Blastoise. Because I can Brutal Swing the Dialga down, because my Pumpkin is max special defense. This shouldn't take it down. Oh, it's so bulky, that's crazy. Okay, we need the confusion now. Oh, I forgot to check if he's... Oh, I really got it. I'm so sorry. Forgot to check if he's like White Herb. Oh, the bulk on Cinderace is still not enough. So I think my mistake was going into the Dialga. Okay, it's Life Orb. Yeah, so it's really not Mental Herb. Yeah, there's a chance that my Pumpkin can win this, but it's a very low chance. But then from this we gain a lot of very good information. Liquidation. It's interesting that the Blastoise is like Life Orb. Maybe the Colossal is a decoy, right? To trick me into bringing my Weezing. I do know that my Pumpkin is faster than both, but I don't think the Brutal Swing can kill the Blastoise because it took the High Jump Kick so well. So let's see what move it has for my Pumpkin. Man, okay, it has Crunch, nice. That's good to know. That doesn't even take me down. But it lowers my defense. Okay, that's the Life Orb. The Flash Cannon. Let's see if he's max special attack. Okay, now that we know a lot of info, we should be able to get game 2. We still haven't found out Dialga's final move. I think that Protect on the Dialga really helped him. I think I should have identified Blastoise, the threat of Blastoise earlier. So I think my mistake was doubling into the Dialga. Knowing the High Jump Kick damage into Blastoise is also good. And then we also know that all his mons are slower than mine, except for Mimikyu. He Shell Smash without White Herb. Does he lead with Blastoise now? I think Mimikyu Blastoise would be a very good lead. So now I don't really need Gorgeist and I don't need Weezing. And then if Colossal comes, Colossal is not a problem because It's not weakness policy, so it won't be doing much damage. So I think I'll bring my Luxray. Yeah, the Blastoise will be the problem now, so we need to really slow down the Blastoise. Like, all the movesets are kinda standard, so it's quite impressive. Man, shouldn't have doubled into the Dialga. What a waste. I doubt this Blastoise has Fake Out. Scrafty has Taunt, Foul Play, and Brick Hit. Why is he so worried about my screens? Yeah, but really, the Dialga is also a problem. Like, we cannot let it get the policy out. Okay, this is Follow Me Shell Smash. This is okay. We also know that the Blastoise is physical. I really think he has to go for the Follow Me. But it will be very bad if he goes for Sleep Powder directly. Yeah, I think it's safer for him to go for Rage Powder because I might have Flare Blitz. So I think it's safe for me to Dynamax. Then, I didn't bring Haze. Oh, shucks. And his Life Orb on the Blastoise, so we might need to intimidate him a few times. But do I have enough turns to do that? Okay, this is getting intense. Yeah, at least he goes for the Rage Powder. He has Max Darkness for my Solgaleo, that makes sense. It'll be very big brain if he goes for the Shell Smash again, knowing the damage on yeah, knowing the damage that the Tangrowth takes. So it's probably max defense and max HP, so that's very bad. It's a +2 attack Blastoise right now, but we have +1 defense, so I'm still going for the Steelspikes. Yeah. But this time I do have to target Tangrowth. Well, it's a good thing I put defense investment into Umbreon. He's gonna go for the Cannonade into Umbreon. Yeah. But I think I do have to take this Tangrowth down, so worst case scenario he goes for Cannonade and Sleep Powder. Yeah, very good game plan from him. Does he protect the Tangrowth? Okay, good. He went for the safe play. But it's Life Orb, so because I haven't taken into account Life Orb damage. I don't think this kills the Umbreon. Yeah, nice. We have our Citrus Berry, which means we definitely survive one more. So now it's time to yawn into the Blastoise. And we're also at +2 special attack. Sorry, +2 defense. So this next Cannonade won't do much, although we do take the cheap damage. Yeah. So it's a good thing that we are able to 2-hit KO this Tangrowth, unless I miss this now. I'm not gonna jinx myself. Ooh, lucky, I didn't jinx myself. Nice, so now it's time to yawn into the Blastoise because we know he doesn't have a Lumberry. Yeah, and we know that the Scrafty cannot fake out into Umbreon. I think it might be interesting if he goes for... Mimikyu. Yeah, we're gonna yawn. Oh! Okay, but if he will-o-wisp the Blastoise, that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna yawn into the Blastoise. I don't think the darkness kills me. I really want a Steelspike. I really want to quick into Blastoise. Yeah, let's just break these guys first. Knowing that he doesn't have Indeedee, I can go for... Okay, good thing he didn't crit. Boosting his defense, that's interesting. Yeah, we need maximum sleep turns now. Does he go for play rough? That'll be bad. Okay, let's save will-o-wisp. Well, it's a good thing that I can take my Solgaleo can take Blastoise moves. So it's bad if he goes for 2 crunches, but I believe I can take 1 max darkness now. Yeah, so in this case I'm not protecting my I'm not gonna protect my Solgaleo. If he has Liquidation Crunch and Steel Spike, that means he has Iron Hit. Which means he cannot touch Solgaleo. He can only... I think... I guess if Umbreon's going down, I'll just helping him. Having a lot of defense boost on Blastoise is bad. Yeah, but I guess I just have to take down this Mimikyu now. Then we can let Blastoise go to sleep, and then we force a 2v2. Yeah. Worst case is if his Max Darkness crits me and somehow I go down. I did 4 damage. Yeah, but I'm going down I'm going down through Cannonade anyway, so yeah, Hida did nothing. He's chipping himself down with Life Orb as well, and now he's going to sleep. So interesting that he doesn't switch out, because if he switches out and switches back, he can get the Shell Smash again. Okay, it's a good thing we kill. Crit. I don't know if it mattered because based on the previous damage, I did 70%. Yeah, I'm going down to Hail. We're gonna force 2v2 and Cinderace can easily clean up. So I think we should bring in Luxray now, just to prevent the fake out. Like, it's just to, in case it's Scrafty and then he intimidates my Cinderace. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's Dialga, nice. Okay. He has Earth Power, so... and he has Protect. Yeah, I think now we just double into the Blastoise because Cinderace should win. The bad thing is I only have Volt Switch. So if he Earth Powers into my Luxray and it turns into a Cinderace, that's very bad. So we're just gonna now and close combat into Blastoise. Yeah, if Solgaleo goes down, that's fine, because Cinderace can catch it up. But if Blastoise takes this only one turn of sleep, that's very bad. Yeah, that's very bad. We might be forced to Sucker Punch with Cinderace. Okay, I review my Earth Power. Let's see how much this does, because I think if I ever... Oh my gosh! I forgot that he's faster, I could have vote switched. Okay, wait, 187 minus 127. 60. So he will do 120 damage to my Luxray mix. Yeah, can I afford to survive with 120? No. The next Earth Power will take me down. So I think I should have vote switched. Man, that Earth Power did so much into Luxray. This means Cinderace shouldn't be able to take it well. Man, I forgot that I'm slower than the Dialga. Oh, that's bad. I think we will have to bait. Yeah, we will have to bait the Earth Power, and now I think we have to play defensive. Man, please don't wake up, man. You deserve to sleep a few times. Okay, nice. It's a good thing we are always faster than the Dialga with the Solgaleo. Ooh, so close. Yeah, I do know that my Cinderace can one-hit KO into Dialga. So... Man, this is bad if he takes... No, that's fine. If Blastoise wakes up, that's fine. So now, we just do whatever. Yeah. Because Cinderace can high jump kick into... Oh, he takes maximum speed turns. So now, Dialga can only target one. Yeah. Okay. So we have this game locked up. Because I think high jump kick should kill Dialga. Oh, why that is so little damage? Okay, it'll be very bad if he goes for double protect. Because my Cinderace is not an odd number of HP. I think that's a mistake on my end. If he's an odd number of HP, 2 high jump kick misses will get Cinderace to 1 HP. So I didn't do that. Is it safer to protect now? No, I don't think so. Then I'll just review now. I think it's fine. Yeah, if he goes for the double protect, then good on him. There's a 30% chance to win the game. And I think he's going for his out, so that's good. Yeah, but otherwise, I think Luxray alone cannot win. So if he does go for the double protect, then he does. That's smart. That's very smart, identifying your win con. Yeah. Okay. Well, the 30%, I got lucky there, because 30% is still quite high. It's very similar to an Oko move. So a few mistakes, I didn't make my Cinderace positive, odd number of HP. Okay, but from the way he plays, we are seeing a trend. We are seeing Dialga and Blastoise with Mimikyu as support. Whereas in this case, he brought Tangrowth to ensure he goes for Shell Smash. My heart skip a bit there though. Like, if he got the Dara Protect. Tangrowth. Does Wheezing help? Yeah, it's a good play on him to go for double Rage Powder, because that way I can't yawn the Blastoise. Is there anything else I can do? Yeah, because it'll be very bad if he goes for Sleep Powder into Solgaleo. Yeah, I didn't prepare Max Airstream on Cinderace. Yeah, I think I'll do the same thing. Luxray is very important. Knowing that I can take an Earth Power, and then I think I still need Cinderace in the back. So it's a good thing he doesn't have Indeedee, so I can Sucker Punch into Blastoise. Do I do anything differently? I think I do need to always get the Steelspike up. I think this time I'm gonna yawn into the Blastoise slot. Oh, back to his game 1 lead. Interesting. Okay, this means he really wants to get Trick Room up. In which case, we can play slow. So now I'm gonna Snarl to break the disguise, and I'm gonna go into Luxray. Because this is a passive lead, and we know all of Scrafty's attacks, so he cannot damage Luxray fast enough. There's a chance Luxray is slower too, so I think I can Volt Switch a few times to get good damage. Yeah, fake out for the Sunsteel Strike, that makes sense. And now we break the disguise. Yeah. If he breaks into Umbreon, that's fine. Yeah. Now the worst case scenario is if Mimikyu goes for worst case scenario is if Mimikyu goes for Swords Dance. So I'm gonna Volt Switch into Mimikyu because Mimikyu is the bigger threat. Scrafty is not doing much damage, especially if I intimidated it. But we do know that Scrafty should be slower than my Luxray. But it's my shiny Luxray, so it doesn't have any... I didn't bottle cap the speed. Then if I Volt Switch, I'm gonna Volt Switch into Cinderace, because I think Cinderace can take a few hits. Okay, he doesn't, but he takes a Snarl, that's the thing. Oh wow! Thanks for the Blastoise. Thank you for your service. Nice, good damage. Yeah, so if he wants to Foul Play, Brick Break, yeah, I think Cinderace will be safer. Then I can always switch in my Luxray a few times. It's very curious, I don't understand why he switches in that Blastoise. Yeah, so what does... I think he goes for Brick Break into Umbreon. He's gonna do like... Oh, okay, that's impressive. 202 minus 148. 54 damage, nice. I think going for Yawn into the Blastoise slot should be okay. And then I'm gonna switch back into Luxray. He might go for the Liquidation into the Luxray slot. So now, yeah, if Cinderace switches out first, that means Blastoise doesn't switch. So that's not good for him. Does he max the Blastoise in this position? Okay. Taunt. Okay, Taunt is okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't go for Yawn. Does he Shell Smash? Okay, nice. So that slot definitely takes a ah man, defense drop. Okay, chipping down with Life Orb as well. Yeah, but that slot definitely takes a Volt Switch. And that slot doesn't have Protect. He has Shell Smash, Liquidation, Crunch, and Iron Head. And then if Dialga switches in, Dialga takes a... Okay, there goes the Blastoise. If Dialga switches in, Dialga takes a Snarl, right? So that's not what Dialga wants. So I think now switching into Solgaleo might be okay. If he goes for Foul Play, I think that's fine because I get my policy and I can max. Let's see if he goes for Foul Play, like how much damage do I take? Does he want to Foul Play into my Cinderace? Brick Break, wow, that's so strong. Man, excuse you. Creeps. Okay, this is not good because we don't know how much the Foul Play damage will do now. Quick Break into my Dialga. Okay, nothing wants to take a max quick in that slot. Last turn of Trick Room. I'm gonna protect Solgaleo because I can afford to max it next turn. Yeah, so I'm gonna protect Solgaleo and Snarl. I don't believe Scrafty plus Dialga. I see what he might do. Okay, if Umbreon goes down, that's fine. We can even max Cinderace. Because we know both of us are faster than Dialga. Yeah, we do know he maxes the Dialga here, that's fine. So the worst case scenario is if he breaks himself and Steelspikes into the Umbreon, which is a play that he can definitely make. But then, the Solgaleo is such a big threat, right? Yeah, but I should have read into that play. I think that's a very good play. Yeah, does he break himself? Does he recognize that like Umbreon is a bigger threat, or does he recognize that like now is the chance to kill the Solgaleo because nothing can switch into a max quick? Oh, I get a Snarl off! Nice. Nice, a good thing Umbreon is slower. Nice. Trick Room, Trojan Horse. Does he go for quick? Because if he goes for quick, then... Ooh. Then I don't max. Yeah, then I don't max. I just close combat the Dialga. Okay, is my taunt wearing off now? Actually no, I think I should close combat the Scrafty. So Blastoise is gone. I can't close combat the Scrafty. I think I'll have to... Because Mimikyu is in the back. So I'll have to Sunsteel Strike the Scrafty. I think my taunt wears off. Yeah. Alright, so we yawn. And Dialga's at plus 1 special attack only, so it should be fine. So I think I Sunsteel Strike the Scrafty because Cinderace should be able to stall out Dialga's Dynamax. The worst case is if Dialga's Steel Spike somehow kills the Umbreon. Yeah. Then Luxray can also, I think I'll review Leer later. Then when he takes his first sleep turn, nice! Call it. Because if I close combat, it will be very bad. Yeah, nice. Oh, look at that color. Cool. So he effectively, my bad. Sorry. He effectively wasted his Blastoise and his Mimikyu. Yeah, but at what cost, you know? Like getting 2 max quicks only boosts your special defense, which is very useless against my team. Yeah, so after this I'll go for Snarl, cause Scrafty cannot fake out Scrafty cannot fake out into Umbreon, so I think I'll go for Protects now. Yeah, but this turn he definitely goes to sleep because he cannot Will-O-Wisp himself. He cannot, yeah, he definitely goes to sleep. So I think Cinderace with 3 max Knuckles should clean up the game. Yeah, so definitely go for Snarl. And then I think Luxray should protect. It's okay if we burn the Shuka Berry here. But then I don't want Luxray to go down because this is essentially his last turn of Dynamax. Yeah. Does he fake out the Umbreon? I think he's good enough to know. So let's see if I didn't protect, does that matter? I think he went for the Brick Break into Umbreon. I missed it. 1-2 something minus 97. Let's just say like 128 minus 97. 31 damage times 4. 124. I would have survived. I would have survived this max quick. Yeah, 3 max quicks is a very bad idea. He needs to go for Steelspike at some point. Okay, he doubles into the Luxray slot. That's strange. Okay, if I keep spamming Snarl, then he has nothing for Cinderace, so just gonna keep spamming Snarl. Then the Scrafty just goes down in one shot. So, or maybe I should have vote switch, cause I know. Yeah, I think I'll vote switch next turn. Okay, went for protect. Yeah, no, maybe not. Yeah, I think Dialgas is the fastest on the field now. Oops. Man, we still don't know what Dialgas' last move is. Earth Power, Flash Cannon, Protect. Is it Body Press? Foul Play, that's not going to do anything. But that makes sense, like Foul Play is his strongest attacking move. I think he went for Earth Power there. Okay, I'm gonna review Leer now. I think Leer will help very much. Yeah, I'm so happy I thought of Leer last minute. Yeah, if I survive the turn, I'll go for Leer. But now Dialga is back to neutral. Okay, I think he might have went for Earth Power. Yeah, going for Leer will secure the game 100%. Then now Cinderace can safely Dynamax. Yeah, he really wants that Luxray gone. Alright, we survived. Let's go. Alright, that's defense. That's a defense drop they can never recover from. So Cinderace can just Dynamax. I can do anything. Yeah, let's go for damage now. And we do know that the Scrafty doesn't have Protect, so a Max Knuckle into Scrafty is an easy thing to do. Yeah, this I admit that this is the nature of my teams. So my games usually go very long. That's why the people in chat are gonna laugh at me for being Mr. Last Table. There's a joke between my friends, Mr. Last Table. Because my games always go like this, like slow play. Yeah, but now I just have to knuckle into the Scrafty and that's game. Yeah. Funny, what's the... Did I miss the Dialga's last move? Actually, Dialga's gonna wake up this turn. So let's yawn the Dialga. Worst case scenario, oh, it might be a dragon move. Yeah, so worst case scenario, he does like Draco Meteor and then he mega crits my Cinderace who has a lot of HP investment. Yeah, look at this, turn, I think it's turn 11 or turn 12. Then you finally see Dynamax. I'm pretty confident at this point, like my heart's not beating like crazy. I'm pretty confident I played correctly. His Citrus Berry also. So, but it's at -1 defense. Yeah, okay. Going for Knuckle also secures the KO instead of like having high jump kick to miss. And it's a good thing that he doesn't know my Cinderace item. I don't reveal life or anything. Yeah, Draco. Okay. That's power. Ooh, look at that. So little damage. Yeah, Yawn to secure it. Let's see if he protects. How much does a helping hand max knuckle do? Earth power. I wonder what's his last move though. What's going on? Helping hand goes before protect. Does he protect? No, doesn't protect. He admits his fate. GG is to roll. Thanks for games. It's intense. That Luxray of yours is 100% the MVP of the week. Great set. I pushed you to your limit. I guess you pushed me to my limit, but then like I got a little bit lucky with that 30% double protect. Yeah. Alright, so that was the match. I reviewed the footage and like looked back to see how I could have made my plays better, and I found that I actually made a lot of mistakes along the way, and a lot of credit can be given to Ro for building a good team and going into the game with very solid game plans. So in game 1 I totally didn't respect the possibility of Shell Smash Blastoise, and I think having Protect on Dialga is a very good call on his end, although it does not have Trick Room, which could have helped the Dialga way more. So having Protect does stop Cinderace from easily taking the KO with high jump kick. So it could have been close, but I didn't secure the end game by targeting the Blastoise instead. So that was game 1. And in game 2, I think having Will-O-Wisp on Mimikyu is a very good call on his end. And I think there's a big gamble on his side, going for Will-O-Wisp straight into Solgaleo that might be a special attacker. But I think he recognized that I do need my Sunsteel Strike to go through Mimikyu's disguise, and at the same time, Solgaleo has the best ground move to do good damage into Colossal. So I think having the Colossal in team preview was a good bait on his end to ensure that I maybe always bring my Weezing, or to always prioritize Dynamaxing my Solgaleo. Then in game 2, he also revealed Max Steelspike on his Blastoise, probably out of Iron Head or Iron Tail, I'm not sure. But then that gave his Mimikyu a +1 defense, and I went for Helping Hand and Sunsteel Strike with a burnt Solgaleo, and then I managed to crit. So I think if I didn't crit there, the Mimikyu would have survived, and then Blastoise could have had a chance to wake up and do a lot of damage into Solgaleo, because Blastoise will be the fastest on the field. Then in that case, I would have to go for Sucker Punch to hope it kills a Blastoise, especially at -1 defense. No, it's at neutral, right? Yeah, after the Shell Smash, but then after the Steel Spike boost. So that endgame was still a bit tricky, and I was lucky to get a lot of sleep turns from the Blastoise after the Yawn. Then that was game 2, and in game 3, it was a bit strange that he didn't go all out and go for the Shell Smash mode again. Because looking at my team, I don't really have a very solid way to deny that Rage Powder Shell Smash play. So I was quite curious that he did not go for it. Then in the end, he went for the mode that I'm very very comfortable with, and that I could I knew how to stall out Trick Room pretty well, and also through a lot of practice. So I think I kind of got him there in game 3, and he made a lot of questionable switches, and I was able to capitalize off of it. So, and I didn't make very hard reads because all I did was make safe plays. So, like, particularly the Sunsteel Strike into the Scrafty slot, since I'm already at +2 attack after the weakness policy boost. Then switching into the Mimikyu, probably predicting a fighting move. I think that's not bad, but I will always go for the safer play in that position. Then I think I was able to um, play the end game very well. I think what he could have done better is to immediately just go for the Dialga, right? To immediately go for max Steelspike 3 times. Then that would help against the Cinderace. But if in the case that he does that, I think I would use my Luxray to go for a few Leers so that Cinderace can get some footing in the end game when it's time for Cinderace to Dynamax. So overall, I am okay with getting the win and proceeding to finals, but I felt that looking back, there are a lot of opportunities that I could have done better, and I think that's just space for me to improve going forward. So the Santa Cruz Centrals are now uh, proceeding to the finals against Les, and it's a matchup that I dread a lot ever since we ended up in the same pod. And I didn't get to face Les at all during the Swiss rounds, so this will be a very interesting match coming up. And I'll try my best and work the matchup again and again. Yeah, I can see a few weaknesses in Les's team, but it's overall another. It's the same as my Lugia problem with in space. It's a very bulky team that can easily be protected by Grimmsnarl's screens. So we do have a big task ahead of us. So otherwise, thanks for sticking all the way to the end of this video. And if anyone here has followed my run all the way to this point, I also thank you very much. It's been a good run, and it's our last push for the finals. So I'm gonna try my best. Yeah, so thanks for sticking with me all the way to this point, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.